Katie Blanton.
Hello.
And we're both nutritionists from the Buncombe County Department of Health. And today we're going to be cooking beans. Katie's going to cook 2 recipes. I'm going to cook 2 recipes. We are going to duel with beans.
Fun. And so the first recipe I'm going to make is going to be a black bean and pumpkin soup. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is that we're going to blend some of the ingredients together to make this soup. I've got 2 cans of pumpkin puree here. We're just going to put this into the bowl.
Now, did you make this yourself?
I did not. I just got some pumpkin puree at the grocery store, and it's readily available right now in the fall.
You know, I buy that stuff and I squirrel it away.
It is good stuff. And then I've got 1 can here of some diced tomatoes in juice. Pour all that in there.
You can give me the bowls and I'll put them over here.
Sure.
I'll be your assistant, even though we're dueling.
And then I'm going to use about half of these beans. We're going to put them in here. We're going to leave the other half whole so we have some chunkiness to our soup. Just put all those in there.
Chunky soup's good.
Set that off. All right. And now we're going to use our little immersion blender. If you have a food processor or a blender, you can also use that too. We're just going to mix it up here.
Oh, wow.
Just mix it right up.
Neat. I've never seen one of these before.
Kind of have to push it down sometimes and give it a little good mix. And it's not near as messy or as noisy as using a food processor.
No. Do you have to have fairly soupy stuff when you use this, or can it be?
It can be for anything.
And stuff like that?
I don't think you could make cookies, but smoothies, different types of soups, sauces.
Okay.
Just blend it on up.
That's a really neat little thing.
All right, so that is good enough for that there. And we're just going to set that aside until later. And now we're going to go to the stove and we're going to make, we're going to do some of the onions and we're going to saute them.
Okay, here's your pot.
All right, so the onions are cooked and we're going to finish off this soup. Doesn't it look delicious?
Oh, they smell good too.
They're just cooked until they're translucent. Get some good smells going on. And now we're just going to add everything else back into the soup. We're going to add the pumpkin puree mixture. And
that's going to make a really thick soup too.
We're going to add some stock. This can be vegetable stock or chicken stock, whatever your preference is.
Can I stir a little?
Sure.
I like stirring.
And you may have to adjust a little bit with how much you need. You may have to add a little more after the cooking is done.
Oh, wow.
Now we're going to add the rest of the beans back in there.
That's going to be a great thick soup.
And all of those beans were drained and rinsed. And then a little bit of cumin, a little bit of curry powder, and some salt and pepper to taste. We'll add a tiny little bit now while we let it cook, and then we'll check it when we're all done and see how it turned out.
You can always add more.
So there's that, and we're going to put that back on the stove, and we're going to let that simmer until the end of the show, and we'll check on it then.
We'll be right back.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Mom, can I have $1? I think my purse is upstairs on the bed. It's not here. Check the dining room. No. The upstairs closet?
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Saturday. Today is Saturday.
Salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday.
Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, swap the snacks Sunday.
All the healthy children eat well and move a lot. And move a lot. And move a lot. Eat well and move a lot.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day.
Skip a rope Saturday, freeze tag Friday, tap dance Thursday.
Whole grains Wednesday, try a veggie Tuesday. Let's move Monday, split the sweet Sunday.
Eat well and move a lot.
Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday.
All the healthy children, all the healthy children.
Get ideas. Get involved. Get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Play your part in the circle of life. Take time to be a dad today. Visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Welcome back, everyone. And now our next recipe is hummus.
Yes.
And we modified this, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We left out the tahini due to it being hard to find and kind of expensive. So we're going to leave that out of the recipe.
But you could always add tahini. And tahini is what?
It is a sesame seed paste.
Okay. And you don't need a ton for this.
No, not at all.
Could we even use sesame seed oil?
You definitely could, and that would give a really good flavor.
Oh, that would be good, yeah. Okay.
All right, so we're going to start. We've got 1 can of chickpeas or garbanzo beans. We're just going to add those to the food processor. And you could do this in a blender also, but it is easier in a food processor. And then we've got some minced garlic. We'll just put that in there.
And about how much garlic are we putting in?
That's about a clove of garlic.
But you could go crazy with it.
Oh yes, definitely. You could definitely add some more garlic. Garlic is good.
Crazy with garlic.
This is a little bit of cumin. Put that in there.
I've never heard of cumin in it. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think I put so much garlic in because you don't need too much else.
And you could add garlic, more garlic. You could add some oregano. You could add paprika. Whatever your flavor is, you know, you could just change it up a bit. A little bit of salt here. And that's also to preference, however you prefer. And then we've got some yummy lemons here. We're just going to get some juice from about 1 lemon.
I love a good reamer.
This one's pretty too.
They gotta be pretty. Might as well have tools that are pretty and, you know, usable.
All right. I'm just going to pour this through my hand to try to avoid some of the seeds.
Well, that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, use your fingers as a strainer. Get right in there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of oil to start and a little bit of water. And I use fresh water. I don't prefer to use the water from the beans because it has a lot of salt in it. But you could if you wanted to, whatever your preference is.
Well, then you wouldn't have to add the salt to it.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, and let's see.
Wait, you have to put this in.
All right.
This is a safety blender or safety food processor.
We'll just give it a little pulse. See how we turn out here. It depends on how thick you want it to. You could change the texture a little bit. If you want it a little thinner, you could, or you could have it a little thicker. All right, and let's check that and see how we're doing there. It's looking pretty.
You don't want it real lumpy.
No, I'm going to scrape down the sides here and see how we're looking. Oh yeah, it's looking pretty good.
It does.
All right, let's give it one more little mix.
I want to say that one of the things I like about hummus is that you can use it on so many things. You know, it's not just a dip. I've had it in salads. And, you know, instead of a salad dressing.
Yeah, no, I've used it on like a sandwich instead of mayonnaise. You can put it on a sandwich with some tomatoes and fresh veggies. It's very good. All right, I think we're good. So let's put this out of here. We'll set this aside.
It's It's a pretty color too. Okay. It's a bit tricky.
Pull it out of there. Get every last little bit of goodness off of there.
Now when I've made hummus in the past, I've cooked my chickpeas from scratch, and I didn't add any salt, of course, because when you're cooking dry beans, you don't want to add salt till the very end. So, and I have made gobs of it because we would eat just a ton of it, and it's really easy. Wow, that looks really yummy.
All right, and there is our hummus, and you can add other stuff to it. You could eat it just the way that it is, and we'll taste it here in a bit, and we'll let it sit and let the flavors melt a little bit more before we try it. And then we'll move on to Margit and let her cook some things.
Well, thank you. We'll be right back, and I'll be ready to duel.
All right.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Okay, welcome back. And so while our soup is still cooking back there on the stove, we're going to have Margit here, and she's going to make us another dip.
Yes, the dueling bean girl. and I want to say first, I have two different kinds of kidney beans, and I'm making two recipes with kidney beans. Now, this bean dip can be made with any bean that you want to. It's your preference. I'm going to use the light kidney beans because I like the color better of the dark kidney beans in the stir fry. I'm going to put those to the side. And this is one of those recipes that you act like you've worked so hard. It is so easy. You dump your beans in the food processor.
And are those rinsed and drained beans?
Yes, they are. And we have fat-free cream cheese. And I'm going to say I'm not a fan of fat-free cream cheese, but it is really good in this. So you're cutting out the fat, you've got the calcium, you've got the fiber and the protein and the good, healthy stuff from the beans, and yet it hasn't got anything too bad for you. I'm going to juice a lemon.
Is that cream cheese softened at room temperature just so it makes it easier to blend up?
You don't really have to. No, it's pretty pretty easy. I'm gonna try your finger thing to see if I can. You know, when you're around other cooks, you learn all kinds of things. But I'm gonna kind of do mine a little differently. I'm gonna make a little dam. See if that works. Because I like a little bit of pulp in it, but the seeds aren't terribly good for you. Okay. Got my fingers all wet. And I have 2 cloves of garlic. I kind of, I'm better about not having too much garlic. And this is time And Katie went out to my garden and picked this. You can do regular thyme, you can do lemon thyme, and you just are going to take your finger, see if it does it. Just kind of sprinkle it in there. You don't want a whole lot of branches because they don't taste good. People don't much care for having branches. I'm going to put a dollop of salt and grind some pepper on it.
That sounds delicious.
And
I'm anxious to try it.
yes, it is good. And it's one of those you can, it's a bean dip or a bean pate. So if you want to make it and you want to refrigerate it and then put it on a little ramekin and use it kind of like a, what do you call it, cheese ball?
Yes.
That's a really good thing. I'm going to pulse this. Now, depending on, the type of beans you're going to use, it's going to give you a different color.
That looks good.
And if you use the higher, if you want to do it as a pate more, it might work better as with a higher fat cream cheese, but I like the low fat or the fat free, just because it's better for you. Whew. Let's try not to have it attack me.
I like the addition of the thyme in there. It makes it look pretty with the green.
Yeah, and you know, we should have saved some time to have a sprig on top for a garnish, but we weren't thinking. At least I wasn't. And it's a really gentle flavor. My son loves this stuff. And we can put it with our little spreader, and we'll put it by our crackers, and we'll try this later. So enjoy that. Next, we're going to make a stir fry, and I'm going to use the rest of my kidney beans.
I can't wait.
Visit your local tailgate market and fall in love with the freshest, best tasting food around. Find your farmer at mountainmarkets.com.
Hungry? Yeah. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
RBIs and 36 homers. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it deep back into the stands.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Okay, next we're going to make a potato bean stir fry. And you don't think of potatoes being stir fried, but this is really good. And this is one of those dishes that can be a meal or it can be a side dish. So it's fairly easy. It's another one that, oh, you act like you've done so much work. But I think all the recipes that we've made today look like they're a lot of work, but they're really not.
Not at all. Not at all.
So they're easy, they're simple. You have green onion and peppers, and I'm going to walk over to my skillet wok, and I'm going to put these two in. I'm going to throw in, my oil was hot. I heated the oil And this is a cast iron skillet wok, which is a really handy thing to have. And I'm putting my green onions. The recipe calls for 3 or 4. I put a bunch. When I read the original recipe for this, it called for chili peppers. I don't care for chili peppers. Now, we want to let these cook for a little bit until they get a little tender. Having the wok is handy because you have more surface area that you can use for cooking. And the cast iron is handy because it holds heat really well. It's got such a different flavor, and it's not a flavor that you think of normally with the beans and potatoes and the vegetables, but it's really cool. Now I cut up the 4 potatoes and I boiled them till they're just tender. You don't want these potatoes to be mushy by any means. Let's see. I think I can add these. Whoops. Here we go. I'm going to hand you that. And then I'm going to put in the beans. And if you want to, this recipe is easily doubled or tripled, as long as you have the right kind of pan. I'm going to add my soy sauce and garlic. Oopsie. And do that again. Thank you. Now, the real treat of this is you put just a little bit of sesame seed oil on the top, roasted sesame seed oil. And oh, it smells so good. But I want to have this warm up a little bit before I do that because the potatoes sat out for just a little bit. So I want to have it warm through. I think it's probably pretty good. And I'm going to pour this over and you're just going to get this wafting of the sesame seed oil. Oh, doesn't that smell good? And it's like you've got this nutty, rich flavor that just adds so much to it. We are going to have a great dinner tonight. You know that?
Yes. It's wonderful.
Okay. Well, let's see how your soup is coming. I guess we'll be back in a minute, and at that point we will dish this up and dish up the soup, and we can eat and enjoy ourselves, and you're going to be just so jealous.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
When you earn your GED diploma, the barriers in your life fall. Take the first step and get free GED information in your area at 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or yourged.org. Earn your GED diploma and begin your brighter future.
Packers.
Viking.
Packers.
Viking.
Viking.
Red state. Blue state. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live.
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Visit your local tailgate market and fall in love with the freshest, best tasting food around. Find your farmer at mountainmarkets.com.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Okay, we're back, and we have a feast. Fit for queens.
Yes.
The bean queens. And we really want to, encourage you. Vegetarianism is so much better for you. I'm not saying total vegetarian, but 1 or 2 nights a week, if you can at least eat a vegetarian meal. You can cook your beans from dry beans. They're less expensive. And I'll tell you, when I cook my beans, I soak them overnight, pitch that water, bring them to a boil the next morning, pitch that water, and you don't have the stomach discomfort. So it's something that helps. And don't salt them or add any kind of acid, tomatoes or vinegar or anything until the beans are soft.
They'll get very tough if you do that, and they won't cook so well.
Yeah, and they won't become the nice soft. They won't rehydrate.
Yeah.
So that's why canned beans are easier in that way. But this is something that it's inexpensive. It's better for the planet. It's better for our bodies. It's a win-win situation. So I brought 2 little bowls, and I don't know. Should we taste each other's stuff?
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay. There's a bowl with a fork. Oops. For you. Let's trade. Well, yeah, let's trade places. we'll get this dance down. We'll get some green onion in it.
The smell of the sesame oil in that is so good.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yes.
And I put a little bit of broadleaf parsley on it. You could put some, totally left me. Cilantro. Yes, I'm sorry. If you want, okay. I like this. It's not real strong with the curry. I think kids would like it.
Good. This is very good. Has some nice crunch to the potatoes and the peppers. Cooked perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I hope that you've enjoyed our show and that you will try some beans. You can do so many great things with them, so just get creative and try some new stuff.
And eat some beans. If you want copies of any of the recipes that we've done today, please go to the Buncombe County website, or you can call the Nutrition Division, and Katie or I would be very happy to send you copies. And enjoy beans.